All right, everybody. So let's talk about EDC stuff. And I know that these videos are severely underperforming on this channel. So, yeah, no, I don't do a whole lot of EDC content. Like, I'm not gonna do a holster review. Like, if you want to go buy a tier 1 holster, go buy a tier 1 holster. Like, everyone has their own thing to deal with holsters. There's a million companies out there. I'm not even gonna begin to go through all of that. One of the things I want to talk to you today about is if you're running, say, your Glock 43. Or your 48 or your 43X or whatever. By the way, huge shout out to Brownells. Brownells provided a few of the things in here, such as the TLR7, the EPS carry, the PLHV2 head, and a couple of other things. But one of the things that I couldn't get at Brownells was the Thyrm clip. I really like Thyrm. I think Thyrm is a good company. I think they make good stuff. You can come in and say, whatever you want. But I really like Thyrm. My problem with this clip was that it was just too bulky in my pocket. Like, I just felt like I was carrying around too much and I didn't like it. So I switched over to the LPC clip. Now, usually when I change things in my EDC rotation, I kind of change up how I train with it. And I don't have any videos of this right now because I haven't really gone to the range. I've just been doing dry fire. So when it comes to it, you pick up your pistola here and you have to train using your non-dominant hand with your flashlight. Now, with the LPC clip, it was cool because I could just kind of hook my finger into here and then pull out the whole light. What I've noticed, I've had a little bit of snagging with this, but it carries much better. And when I say it carries much better, I mean, with my 18650 light, which I do want to get the 18350 version, but with my 18650 light, it's just kind of bulky. It's big. It's a chunky light compared to the Malkoff that I was carrying for well over a year. And I wanted to go back to carrying this because I wanted to try it out and give it like another shake, just to kind of feel it. But with the 18650 light, it's a bulky light. It's at my pivot point. It's it's just there. Where you sit down, you have to move it and do stuff like that. I think with the 18350 version, it'll be a lot smaller because you're cutting out like well over 2 inches of mass there. You're going to a smaller battery instead of the big chunky 18650 battery, and it's just overall it's a better light. So yeah, I wanted to give this another shake. I didn't have a PLHV2, so I headed over to Brownells. Brownells sent this out, so thank you, Brownells, for the PLHV2. But let's go into this. When carrying your EDC gun here, we are clear. When carrying your EDC gun, it's interesting to me that there are a lot of people who just rely on this light. This light sucks. This light vastly overpowers that light, and this light sucks. It honestly needs consistent changing of the little battery that's in there because it does die relatively quickly. Now, this is an Energizer lithium battery. I like Energizer lithium batteries for these Streamlight products here. And don't get me wrong, I like Streamlight, but, there's something to be said for, threads that catch on your light. But there's something to be said for stuff that's usually made in America or not made in China. Now, Streamlight does push this light out to being made in China. And now let's go ahead and talk about it. I love the Streamlight. I think it's probably one of the best lights for these small Glocks, other than the Surefire. I think the Surefire light, which is probably cost prohibitive for the most part, specifically due to the fact that it's made in California and they're an expensive state. The Surefire flashlight coming on to the Glocks here is, I believe it's north of $300 for that thing. It's just it's a prohibitively expensive flashlight. And I say that in the sense of I just don't think that a lot of people are going to want to put a $300 flashlight on a $400 gun. Again, I've done dumber things. So it's okay, and I understand it's cost prohibitive. I mean, for $100 and something bucks, you can pick up this Streamlight TLR7A sub, and it works. It does what it's supposed to do. It's a bright light. You can blind the crap out of people. I will say it does suck because you have to consistently clean off that lens, but it's a good flashlight. But you should always carry a backup. And that's where the Thyrm LPC clip comes in. Now, this is a low-profile clip. It comes a little O-ring that goes on here and all that other fun stuff. And it's a good clip. It's a good clip for your pocket. I really like that. I really like just how it feels in my pocket now. I mean, it carries so much better than this. Now, if you were to holster carry your light, like if there was, because Modlite has a holster you can get in, you can holster carry this. I'm not holster carrying a fucking flashlight It's not happening. I'm not a cop, so what I will be doing is, staying the hell out of bad situations. And when it comes to that, I think that the Thyrm LPC clip allows me to carry a bright defensive flashlight in a manner that doesn't impede my everyday carry. It's not big bulky in my pocket. I'm not, forced into the one spot in my pocket, and I just think that doing that and carrying your Glock, it's a fantastic way to supplement your pistol light, because you don't want to pull your pistol light and tell people like, oh, back up, I need to see what I need to see. No, you pull out your EDC flashlight and you blind the shit out of everybody. And then once that happens, if they're still coming at you, you can either drop your flashlight, you can pull out your flashlight, you can supplement your flashlight with your other flashlight here, and then you just pop away, do whatever you need to do. Now, I say that in the sense of, do not rely on things for your self-defense shooting. Just be aware. You need to avoid those as much as possible, which is why you should have an everyday carry light that is very bright, high candela, that will blind the ever-loving F out of people. That's just something that I highly recommend, and I stick to religiously. It's definitely just blinding the crap out of people, because it does work. I've had a few people come up to me while I work on an ATM, and you want them to go away, or they're even just coming in your general direction. You blind them with a flashlight and you tell them that they're not welcome. They have a tendency to leave relatively quickly. So I would definitely, if you're out there and you're looking, get yourself a Modlite if you can afford it. Surefire, the EDC LT2 or whatever. A lot of those, even the new Streamlight flashlight, which doesn't have a ton of candela, but it's got a lot of lumens. You could definitely overpower some people with that. I'm just, I'm a candela person. I like candela, so argue with me in the comments down below. But thank you guys so much for tuning into the video. I really hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed showing it to you. But yes, go ahead and get yourself the Thyrm LPC clip for your Modlite, because Modlite makes some pretty dope stuff. I'm not a big fan of the company, aka the owner, but I like the product that they make. So Thyrm LPC clip is definitely a little bit better for me as an EDC person, because this is an EDC thing for me. I like the LPC clip over the Switchback 2.0. The Switchback is just, it's not for me right now. Maybe at some point, but I really want to give this more of a fair shake in that category. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. As always, go visit Brownells. My stuff for my link tree will be down in the description. And just, if you like the video, please like and subscribe, share, do all the fun stuff you're supposed to do. Thank you guys so much for everything. Have a good one.